This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
A lot of firms out there say they will do tax planning, say they will do Social Security planning and RMD planning, and typically they just do investment management. They want your money.
You've worked hard your whole life to earn and save. Now you need a plan to make that money work hard for you.
Where do you stand today with your retirement accounts, with your insurance, with Social Security, RMDs, taxes, all of it? This is how we need to think. We need to think outside of the box on these matters.
Abe is here to help you unlock the keys to your retirement.
Any one of us can have the Grinch drawn out of us at some point during the throes of the holiday chaos.
Oh, yeah. Just walk yourself into a mall a few days before Christmas and
the tone
and
in
good
your
luck.
voice, Abe.
And good luck.
Speaking from experience, I do detect a little tone there about a mall experience. No, for me, it starts before you walk through the mall doors. It's the parking lot of the mall.
Oh, boy.
And I'm not a person, I also don't have road rage, but I remember one holiday I was waiting for a parking spot and somebody did one of that thing where they come and they swipe it and they steal it from you right in front of me.
I don't have road rage, but there was that one time.
Right.
Yeah. Taking a parking space from somebody else. Yeah, that's...
I was not
no
okay
bueno.
in that moment.
Yeah.
I found the inner Grinch in me fully coming out. Hopefully you've been able to control yours a little bit this holiday season, but you and I were actually talking off air before we started the radio program today about another thing that often brings the Grinch out in a lot of us. Mm-hmm. While Christmas is all about the spirit of giving, apparently that spirit goes the way of the Grinch when it comes to preparing those gifts. Mm-hmm. A new survey found that over half of respondents say that the worst part of the entire holiday season is wrapping presents. They hate it so much they'd rather pay a professional to do it for them. Abe, be honest.
Yep.
Are you
I've
a good
definitely
rapper?
done that.
You have?
Well,
You paid somebody?
Absolutely. I paid somebody to at these department stores and stuff to wrap the gifts. And I would say my wrapping skills at the start of our marriage, Shelly and I, was terrible.
Okay.
It was awful. I mean, you could see the cardboard box underneath the wrapping paper and the tape was all over the place and the wrapping paper was like cut up and ripped. And Shelly was like, every year the wrapping started to get a little bit better and better. She's like, you know what? You got to step up your wrapping skills here,
All
Abe.
about the presentation.
And what I would do is I would take, as Amazon boxes came in, I would just take an Amazon box and wrap it. And she's
You
like,
wouldn't even
no
open
more.
it to see what was inside of it to make sure it was the right thing?
No, because I knew it was, her gift.
Holiday
and
gift
she's
roulette.
like, no more wrapping Amazon boxes. Like, take the gift out and wrap it. Wrap that specific gift for me. And so it was pretty funny. And now she's like, wait, did you wrap that gift? Because that looks pretty good. Like, that looks pretty good. Did you really wrap that gift or did you pay somebody to wrap it? And, I'm not paying anybody anymore, so saving a little bit of money there.
I was going to say, was this about to be a moment of confession or a moment of truth? You've gotten so good that she's actually impressed.
Yep, that's
Look
right.
at you.
That's right. Look at that. We all have hope. We all have hope, Heather.
It's the Christmas spirit. There's hope for all of us. God bless us, everyone. Well, the idea and the conversation around things that frustrate us during the holidays, I was thinking about gift wrapping, is exactly the case in point you were making. The reason why we hate it so much is because if you don't know how to do it, it can be super frustrating to a lot of gift givers. And so that's why they end up just throwing it in one of the gift bags. The gift bag is always the default action movement.
Throw a little tissue paper in there and you're good.
Ta-da, wrapped. But for folks that can also correlate this into the work that you do, Abe, I think that a lot of us approach our retirement planning with the same kind of perspective. It can be so confusing and often intimidating, and we end up totally frustrated by the whole experience that we just throw our hands up in the air, similar to the holiday wrapping process. So the question for you is, where do we start then? How is it that you and your team are able to help your clients get past the frustration and figure out how to get that perfect wrapping around their own retirement plan?
Yeah, Heather, that's a great question. And just like getting a complimentary comparison, or whether you're working with another advisor or whether you are a successful do-it-yourself investor, if you're open to a true complimentary comparison, a true second opinion, which is what we offer here on our show all the time to our listeners, okay, that's one thing. But then, you need to gather all your documents. We call it a financial junk drawer oftentimes. And for a lot of people, Heather, that can be a daunting process. And so we try to make it not daunting, right? We try to keep it as simple as possible, find ways using technology to get us those documents as easy as possible, and just make the process simple, make it refreshing, make it encouraging, make it so that people are inspired when they get this compass check from us as to what they've done for their retirement. But for a lot of people, it can be daunting, and just like so daunting that they may just say, you know what? I'm going to give up. It's not worth it for me to spend all this time.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I really encourage all the listeners right now, whether you're working with another advisor firm, whether you're a successful do-it-yourself investor, if you thought at all recently about, hey, you know what? I have a pretty good comfort level for where we stand in terms of retirement, but I'd love, or I am open to getting a complimentary second opinion and comparison. I'd really encourage you to do so, because there's no promises, no guarantees in the market and in our business, obviously.
Right.
But I can tell you, based on over 800 families and clients we've helped in this DC metro area, that you're probably going to leave this process refreshed and encouraged and inspired. More than likely, you have done a good enough job. Now we just want to help you to protect it, to preserve it, to leverage it, to maximize it, to lower taxes, to lower your risk, to watch out for inflation, and all these areas that our callers are calling in for.
Right.
That they're concerned about.
Right.
So we just had a couple actually call into the show, and they are, mid 70s. They live in the Manassas, Gainesville, Warrenton area of Virginia, Prince William County. They are about a 5 on our risk scale. So middle of the road. This is oftentimes where our clients come in terms of risk, somewhere in between a 4 and a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
If 1 is all cash, Heather, and 10 is all stock. So some of this couple's problems were that they had a lot of extra bank money and extra bank cash. We call that dead money. This is cash above and beyond emergency expenses. And typically we like to recommend, Heather, that our clients have anywhere from 6 months to maybe even a year worth of cash reserves on hand. This couple had several years worth of cash reserves on hand, over $200,000 worth. That is essentially, because of the safety and liquidity, losing money due to inflation. Other monies that they had were at big box firms, a credit union that they were using to help them with their investments, another big box firm where the people that they're dealing with at these places, the couple expressed they just don't know enough. If you're working with an advisor at a credit union, is that advisor really going to know as much as maybe an advisor that's working with an investment advisory firm? Maybe, maybe not, probably not. It's kind of like going to your car and home insurance company to buy life insurance and to buy long-term care and different things. That car and home insurance company is probably really good at car and home insurance, maybe not fantastic at life insurance and other things that they add on. So she felt like the advisors this couple felt like the advisors that they're dealing with just didn't know enough. They weren't getting the best answers, this couple felt. And so they called into the show and they wanted a complimentary comparison. What we provided for them, Heather, was a full plan for their investments to include RMDs. The wife recently received an inherited IRA, and she didn't even know that she had an RMD due on that inherited IRA. Then obviously a plan for their dead money with over $200,000 in just extra bank cash that's making 0.5%. Hey, we're losing money on all that extra bank cash.
So, Abe, another big area of concern for all investors right now is the continual talk about the looming major stock market correction that we're all expecting to come eventually. And with that in mind, many retirees are wondering, should they move into a proactive mode? That's the question Eddie Gabor of Key Advisors Group is raising. He was telling Fox Business he's not a fan of the buy and hold mentality when the market is sending a clear signal.
This economy is heading into a different cycle over the next 2 quarters. So when you look at what the setup is, we believe that we've hit peak economic activity. This month of December will be the peak, and we'll see GDP decelerating. We will have a Fed that's tapering, and we will have inflation that's sticky. And when you look at that framework, that is the complete opposite of what we've had the last 18 months. So as an investment advisor, you have to be active and change, because what worked the last 18 months, in my opinion, will not work moving forward.
Abe, Do you agree with what he's saying here? What moves within portfolios are you recommending to help protect your clients?
He should have just dropped the mic right there, Heather.
Okay,
He should have
all
just
right.
dropped the mic. Yeah, I 100% agree with Eddie there in that, we shouldn't be sticking and holding to these models that, we just hold on to investments in portfolios for 7 to 10 years. A lot of these big box firms out there, Heather, will just buy and hold. They'll stick to these cookie cutter portfolios and they'll tell their clients, this is what we believe is best for you over the next economic cycle, which is typically 7 to 10 years. We manage portfolios and retirement plans, Heather, for retirees, for people 55 and up, oftentimes in their 60s. And we can't tell our clients, Heather, to ride it out and hope for the best. And hey, if something happens here with the Fed pulling their thumb off the scale heading into 2022, that we're just going to ride it out and hope for the best because this is the best portfolio for you for the next 7 years. No way. Do you think someone 62 retiring when they're 63 wants to hear that? No way. They are hiring investment advisor firms to take a proactive, tactical, actively managed approach. They want to receive a lot of the market upside with much less of the risk and the downside. And so we believe you need to be proactive and tactical. And so we just had a couple call into the show, Heather. They're in their late 70s. And this couple, as most couples and people in the DC metro area, have won the game in terms of how much they've saved for retirement. $2 million saved.
Wow.
But when we did their investment and risk analysis, we found out, very common, that they're taking on too much risk. What did we recommend? De-risking the portfolio, bringing them down from about a 6 to a 4. They were taking on too much risk. Reset the financial plan, reset the retirement plan for income and distribution, for RMDs, safety. Instead of sticking to bonds and cash and treasuries and other instruments that were in their plans, pick up those dead money positions, use a tactical, active, proactive style, for a retiree. That's what we did for them.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit retirementkeyradio.com and join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 2 p.m. on WMAL.
Patrick Volk is an investment advisor representative of J. Hagan Capital, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish and Patrick Volk are licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish or Patrick Volk. NPN number 770-3575 and NPN number 727-978.